Hello folks, it's me again. Y'all probably getting tired of seeing me, but last week you guys learned how to combine like terms and how to use the distributive property, but you learned them separately. Today what we're going to do is we're going to learn how to put them together, how to take the distributive property and get rid of parentheses, and then when we're done we're going to take all those numbers and we're going to combine like terms to simplify the problem. Alright, so let's take a look at the first problem we may have. We may have this one right here. Look at this. Negative 5 times 5 minus 10n minus 9n. Alright, so here's our first problem. Now, just like before, the first thing we want to do is we want to take a look and see if we can find any of those minus signs, and then we're going to add the opposite. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look for any minus signs. Now look, you may think, boy, there's a minus sign. No, it's not. That's a negative. Okay, that's a negative sign. There's no number in front, no term in front. Therefore, that's a negative 5. So let's keep going. There's a 5 minus 10n. So right there, we're going to change those signs. So I'm going to take this minus sign, make it a plus, and do the opposite of the positive 10, which will make that a negative 10n. Then, of course, here we got minus 9n. So we're going to go ahead and take this minus, make it into a plus, and change the positive 9n to a negative 9n. Now, so our first step, once again, was to change those signs. Add the opposite. Next step, get rid of parentheses. Now, how do we get rid of parentheses? Very simple. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to distribute to get rid of the parentheses. So I'm going to take my negative 5 right here, which is in front of the parentheses. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to distribute the negative 5 to the 5. Now, negative 5 times 5. Do not forget, when you are multiplying and dividing, you take the numbers, the 5 and the 5, and you multiply them. 5 times 5 is 25. Then what you do is you ask yourself, is the signs or are the signs the same or are they different? Now remember, if the signs are the same, the answer is positive, and if the signs are different, the answer is negative. It does not matter which number is bigger or smaller. That's only for adding. But for multiplying, just know if the signs are the same or if they're different. So here the signs are different, so the answer is going to be negative. So we got negative 25. Then we're going to bring down the plus sign. And then what we do next is we're going to take this negative 5 and we're going to distribute all the way to the negative 10n. Now, we take the 5 and the 10 and we multiply them. 5 times 10 is 50. And so I'm going to put 50. Make sure you include that in. Now, is this negative and this negative? Are those signs the same or are they different? They're the same, and because they're the same, the answer will then be positive. So this is actually going to stay positive, so it's going to be positive 50n. Now some of y'all may try to distribute way over here, but watch out. The parentheses stop right here, so do not distribute past the parentheses. This number right here, what you're going to do is you're just going to bring them down, like so. Now, after we do this, now we have no more parentheses in our problem. So what we do next is now we're going to take a look and we're going to look for any like terms we may have. Now, when I'm looking for like terms, what I do is I'm going to take my first number and I'm going to put a circle around it and say, okay, I got negative 25. Do I have any other terms in my problem that does not have a variable? Because negative 25 doesn't have a variable. So do these have variables? They both do. So these are not the same terms as the negative 25. So what do? Well, I'm going to take the negative 25 and I'm going to bring it down. Okay, now that's gone. Can't do anything else with it. Now I'm going to bring down a plus sign. And what I'm going to do now is now I'm going to go ahead and look at the next term, which is 50n. And what I'm going to do here, folks, is I'm going to go ahead, I'll just put, how about a triangle? I like the triangle. So I'm going to put a triangle around the 50n. Now, if I put a triangle around the 50n, what I'm doing is I'm looking for another term in my problem that has an n. This is gone. There's one right there. See how there's an n? So I'm going to go ahead and put a triangle around that. So I got 50n plus negative 9n. Now remember when we added integers, you always want to ask yourself, when you're adding, are the signs the same or are they different? And if they're the same, you're going to add the numbers. But if they're different, you're going to subtract. So if we look, positive 50, negative 9, these signs are different. Therefore, we're going to subtract. So 50 minus 9 is 41. So I get a 41, and I'm going to make sure I include my n, 41n. Now, the question is, are the signs going to be positive or is it going to be negative for this addition? Well, remember what we do. We look for the biggest number. 50 is bigger than 9, and so 50 is positive, so my answer is going to stay positive. So what I have here for my final answer is negative 25 plus 41n. And remember, you cannot add those together because this has a variable n and this does not. So they are unlike terms. And if they're unlike, you cannot add them. So our answer is negative 25 plus 41n. And that's it. Okay. Now, that one wasn't too hard. This next one here that I'm going to show you is very confusing to a lot of people. Okay? So everyone, let's erase this one right quick. All right, take a look at this next one. This one's confusing. Right here. 7 minus 2 times p minus 4. Now, this is number 2 on your problems there. But if we look, what everybody wants to do, they look at this and say, boy, that's easy. Just go 7 minus 2 is 5. But if you do that, you did it wrong. Because you need to make sure, remember, you got to follow the steps. The first step is going to be to change your signs, okay? So we want to add the opposite. So look for any minus signs. If you see them, change them. So here we go. Look for any minus signs. Here we go. 7, we said minus 2. That's a minus. So we're going to change it. That's going to become a plus, and this positive 2 is going to become negative. Next, we look for another minus sign. Ooh, there's one there. Change that one too. That's going to become a plus, and that 4 is going to become negative. Now remember, this could make it easier for some of you. Does anyone remember what I said? What number can we put in front of the p? Anytime you have a variable, you can always put a number in front of that variable. What number should you put? You should put 01. Now, after we do this, many people, like I said, they want to take these numbers and subtract them. Don't do that. Follow the steps. Change your sign. Step 2. Don't forget step 2. Distribute to get rid of the parentheses. So if you're going to distribute to get rid of parentheses, you got to take this negative 2 and distribute to everything inside the parentheses. So watch. I take negative 2 and distribute to the 1p. Now, remember, 2 times 1 is 2. So I get 2p. Question though. Is it going to be positive or negative? Well, look, these two signs right here are different. Because the signs are different, your answer will be negative. Remember, when you're multiplying and the signs are different, your answer is negative. So that's going to be a negative 2. Bring down the plus sign. What do we do next? We distribute one more time. Negative 2 times negative 4. Now, 2 times 4 is 8, so I'm going to put an 8 right here. And ask yourself, are the signs the same or are they different? Well, these two signs right here are the same. They're both negative. And remember, when you multiply and your multiplying signs are the same, your answer will be positive. So this will be a positive 8. Now, we got rid of all this stuff here. We did a lot of this. What did we forget about? This 7. Don't forget about them. What you do with the 7, bring them down. So it's going to be 7 and plus. So now we got 7 plus negative 2p plus 8. Now what do? Look for like terms. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for the 7 right here. See it? Do I have any other terms here that does not have a variable? The negative 2 got the p, so nope, can't pick that one. But look at the 8. We can pick that one. So I'm going to circle that one. So we look 7 plus 8. Now those two signs are the same, and so we're going to add them. 7 plus 8 is 15. So I'm going to put a 15 right here, right? And it's going to stay positive because the bigger number is 8 and it's positive, so it's going to be positive 15. I use those. What else do I have left in my problem? Well, I got this right here. I got this negative 2p kind of chilling in the middle, right? Right here, you can't add it to nothing because there's nothing else to add it to. There's no more terms in the problem. So what do? Bring it down. So what we get here, we're going to get 15, and then we're going to bring down the plus minus 2p. Now, I told you this before, but I'm going to say it again. If you're taking a multiple choice test, this answer will not be there. It's going to be 15 minus 2p. Understand, these two answers are exactly the same. Okay, they mean the same thing, they have the same value. Okay, but on a multiple choice test, that's going to be the answer, 15 minus 2p. So understand that. All right, so anyways, so this right here, that's our answer. All right, now I got another one to show you right quick if you don't mind. This one here is going to be tricky, okay? Because now instead of having just one set of parentheses in the problem, we're going to have two. Does it make it more difficult? No, it's the same thing. The only difference is the problem's going to be a little bit bigger. But let's take a look and see how we do it. So watch this one. All right. Now, sorry about that. All right, here we go. Look at this one. This one's going to be number 4 on your worksheet there. Take a look. Negative 9 times 1 minus 9r minus 6r minus 5. Okay, so as you can see, pretty much the same thing, except you got two sets of parentheses. So how are we going to do it? The same way. Everything is the same. Nothing changes. Like I said, it's just a little bit more work. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to look for any minus signs and change the signs. Here we go. Is this a minus sign? Nope, it's a negative sign. So please don't, once again, don't change the negative sign. Change the minus signs. So we look now. That's a negative 9, 1, oy, there's a minus. So I'm going to keep this number right here the same. I'm going to make that into a plus, and I'm going to change that 9r to negative 9r. Now look, we're going to go, here's another minus sign, but oi, we have a problem. If you look, this minus is sitting in between the two sets of parentheses. If I change this minus to a plus, what am I going to do the opposite to? There's nothing there. So you need to know, folks, what can you put in front of a parentheses that has a minus sign in front of it? What you can put, people, listen to me now. Please remember this is one of the most missed problems in all of algebra. People forget to put the 1. You can put a 1 right in front here. If you do, it's going to make your problem so much easier. So please do not forget that 1. Now when you go ahead and you change those signs, look now. When you change them, you've made that minus into a plus. You made that 1 right there negative. That's an ugly 1. Sorry about that. But now we can continue. Here's another negative, a minus I mean. We can change that minus. Now, we changed our signs. What's next? You remember? Distribute. We got to distribute to get rid of the parentheses. So let's go ahead and distribute. Can we watch now? So this negative 9 right here, we're going to distribute. And when I do, this is what happens. I go negative 9. We're going to distribute to the 1. Now remember multiplying. So 9 times 1 is 9. We ask ourselves, are those signs the same or are they different? They're different. And because they're different, our answer is going to be negative. Bring down that nice plus sign. Distribute one more time. Negative 9 times negative 9r. Now let's just go 9 times 9. What's 9 times 9? 81. So we get 81. Don't forget the r. And ask yourself, are these signs the same or are they different? They're the same. And because they're the same, the answer will stay positive. So we get 81r. Now we're going to bring down that plus sign. Now remember that 1 we put there? You know why we did that? We did that so now we can distribute the negative 1 inside those parentheses. So if I take this negative 1 and I distribute to the 6r, 1 times 6r is 6r. These two signs, are they the same or are they different? They are different, okay? Because they are different, your answer is going to be negative. So this is going to be a negative 6r. Then, we bring down the plus sign. What we do next? Distribute one more time. Now, what's 1 times 5? 5. So we're going to put a 5 here. And once again, ask yourself, are these signs here, are they the same or are they different? -1, -5. Same signs are different. They are the same. And because those signs are the same, what do? Keep our answer positive. Because when you have the same signs and multiplying, your answer will become positive. So that's going to be a +5. Now, what next? Right? Thought we were done. We're not. Got to finish up. Got to clean it up. This is a mess. Let's clean it. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to circle that -9. Now, do we have another term in this problem that does not have a variable? Let's look. Nope, this got an R. Nope, that has an R. Ooh, that +5 has no variable. Let's circle that one too. Now, -9 plus 5. Do we add those numbers or do we subtract? Remember, you look to see if the signs are the same or different. These two signs right here are different. Because the signs are different, you are going to subtract those numbers. Please do not mess up your rules for addition. So you're going to subtract those two numbers. 9 minus 5 is 4. Put a 4 here. Now the question is it going to be positive or negative? Well, what's bigger, 9 or 5? See, we didn't ask if the signs are different to keep it negative or the same to be positive. That's the rules for multiplication. We look for the bigger number when we're adding. 9 is bigger and it's negative, so I'm going to make that a -4. Now, I finished these, so I'm going to cross them off. They're gone. Next, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to look for my next number. Let's see what we got here. 81R. Look at this. Do you have another term in this problem that has an R as a variable? Let's look. Oh, there it is, -6R. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a box around that one too. Now when we look at these two terms, we ask ourselves, are we going to add or are we going to subtract? And remember how we tell. We look to see if the signs are the same or they're different. So if we look, these two signs right here are different. +81, -6. So what we do is we are going to subtract those numbers because the signs are different. So in order to subtract 81 minus 6, 75, right? So we get 75. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put down my plus right here. And then 81 minus 6 is 75. Don't forget the R. And then what you're going to do is ask yourself positive or negative. Well, 81 is bigger and it's positive. So your 75 is going to stay positive. So guess what? You're done, people. That's it. See, it was the same type of problem, just a little bit longer. Now, hopefully this made a little sense. Hopefully this helps you distribute, then combine like terms. Okay? So please, get started on that work right now. And thank you so much. And once again, I hope y'all aren't getting tired of these videos because there's going to be more. And have a great day.